We're doing the husband tag right now.
Hi.
Oh gosh. You guys already know me. I'm Michelle.
I'm Sam.
That's my husband. I'm going to be asking him questions and he's going to be answering them.
And I hope I don't fail miserably.
You won't because I love him. Let's get this roll on this show. Where did we meet?
Well, we met at Chili's. It was New Year's Eve of 2005, going into 2006. And I'd gone to see the Chronicles of Narnia, and Michelle had gone there too, so I don't know what she's womping. But we were actually in the same movie theater together, didn't know it, and me and my buddy went down to a Chili's in MacArthur Square Mall up in Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk. And we were there for probably 20-30 minutes. The place was packed. Like there was probably 40-50 people in line there.
Wait a minute. This is my part of the story. Okay, so I just got into a car accident like probably 2 weeks prior, and I didn't have no ride. So I had to take the HRT, and for those who are familiar with the 757 Hampton Roads area, that is the Hampton Roads Transit. That is the bus. So I was busing it because I didn't have my car. So I went to the mall. After I finished watching the movie, I really didn't feel like catching a cab home or taking the bus home. So I was like, well, let me go to Chili's right quick. But there was like 50 billion people in line. Like I was walking up and I was like, there must be something special going on tonight or something. I'm not waiting in this long line. So I'm standing there and I'm talking to the hostess and I'm like, hey, can I sit at the bar? Because there was like one seat open. And she was like, yeah, sure, go for it. And like the whole bar was completely packed. So there was one seat. So I sat down at the only free seat there was.
Next to me.
Right next to that guy.
Right to my right side. So she's sitting there. She comes up, sits next to me, right? And I'm like, I look over. I'm kind of like, hey. I didn't say that to her, obviously. I have a little more couth than that. So me and my buddy are talking or whatever, and like, you know, I'm trying to figure out, I don't want to do it cheesy, like, hey, so are you tired from running, you know, because you've been running around in my head all night. No, none of that crap, right? So I smoked at the time, so I'm sitting there.
I did too. I was a cigarette smoker back then.
She was, so she lights up a cigarette next to me, and honestly, quite frankly, I was fiending because I had not had a cigarette the entire movie. You were allowed to smoke there at the time inside the bar, but I didn't have a lighter. I had my cigarettes, I didn't have a lighter. There's nobody else smoking. So I literally, my pickup line to Michelle was, hey, can I have a light? That was it. And she's like, sure, here you go, buddy. And gave me one, being her outgoing personality that she is. And then she was drinking a Long Island iced tea. I'd never had one before. And I was like, hey, well, what are you drinking, you know? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I didn't know what it was. She's like, oh, it's a Long Island. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to get one too. So I ordered one, you know. And then that was pretty much it.
But what he didn't tell you was, like, you guys, okay, I already told you that if I wear a t-shirt and jeans.
I was going to get to that point, actually, later.
It doesn't matter. Like, if I'm going to go see a movie, I don't care. I'm not trying to impress anybody. So I had on this shirt.
That was inside out and backwards. Inside out and backwards.
It wasn't inside out. It was back. It was just backwards.
It was inside out.
It was just backwards. It wasn't inside out.
Okay, yeah, because I saw the
tag.
That
was a different time.
Yeah, backwards. T-shirt backwards.
So whatever. You can't. It had
First
writing
impressions
on it.
right here. It doesn't matter. We're proof. It does not matter.
So we're talking and he's like, "Yeah, I think your shirt's on backwards." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
She didn't say
but
that.
But I played it cool.
She didn't say that.
I was like, "No, man, I like it this way." Because it's got letters on this side.
She likes what it says on the back.
It could have been embarrassing had I let it be embarrassing. But I chose to take the Fulham route. He turned around, I kind of did one of these transformer moves.
I turned around, I'm talking to her on my right side. I turned to my buddy on my left side for about 2 seconds. I hear rustling and noises and stuff. I look around just in time to see her be like this.
I was like this. And my shirt was on the right way. And yes, I did it. I did not care. Let me tell you, when I don't care,
in the middle of the bar.
I don't care. I will flip my shirt around. Whatever. It was our first date. I don't even know the name of this person's house.
Okay, so our first date spawned off of our first, actually where we met at, you know what I'm saying? So, my buddy said, hey, you know, I'm sorry to like break into your all's little thing I see here, because when we first met, she sat down next to me and we talked for about 4 hours. My poor guy over here, like wingman or whatever, like he had left, went freaking 10 miles away, got some Arby's or something, came back, still found us at the bar, you know. He's like, hey, you know, it's almost, you know, midnight, there's a party going on at my buddy's house, do you want to come? And so I'm like, yeah. And then of course, like I said, 8 or 10 Long Islands later, I'm like,
We didn't drink that much. Would you stop saying 8 or 10?
yeah, I don't know.
We didn't drink that much. For
I don't
crying
think she
out loud.
remembers we
No,
drank that much, but we had some drinks. So, so I turned to Michelle. I'm like, hey, I turned to my room. I'm like, hey, so what are you doing tonight? And what'd you say?
No, that's
Yes.
not how it happened.
This is exactly how it happened.
This is how it happened. No, this is important because this knocked me off my socks. He said, so what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, nothing. It's New Year's Eve, so I'll probably just go home and watch the ball drop with my dog. I had a Shih Tzu. His name is Checkers. He's recently deceased.
That's boring.
Yeah, he was like, wow, that's really boring. Maybe you should hang out with me because I'm going to a party.
No, I said, that's boring. You're coming out with me tonight,
Right.
and we're going to go to this party.
Right, and I was like,
Here's the thing. I'm not that bold normally, but 8 or 10 Long Islands later, I was like, Mr., you know, brazen. I'm like, I got this. I'm good. And I told her, I said, listen, I really dig you. I like you a lot. You're going to come hang out with me. And
I was like, so what?
she liked it. She liked it a lot.
Apparently it worked.
It worked. I mean,
7 years later.
I mean, it worked good. So, we went to the party.
So that technically our first date was going to this New Year's Eve party at his roommate's friend's house. I don't know who these people were, but
I don't either.
Thanks for the love connection.
Next question.
Where was our first kiss and how was it?
Well,
Our first kiss was at a party. It was the New Year's Eve party, the same day. Please forgive my heathen ways. But
quite frankly,
and this was a long time ago, okay? We don't party hard like
Nah.
this at all anymore. We
kids, all that
are
stuff.
respectable,
You can't do it.
responsible adults with children. But yeah, back in the day, there was like a bottle over there and nobody was protecting
we
it.
did ask though. We asked. We said, "Whose bottle is this?" That one guy said.
And nobody knew.
No, the guy said. You might not remember this point because I'm telling you, I remember. Like he said, "That's mine, man. You go ahead, have as much of it as you want." And we drank that whole bottle.
Yeah, well,
The
I'm
whole
sure
bottle.
we shared a little. No, we didn't.
No.
we
We drank the whole.
We were like, oh snap!
We're talking about them like the bigs. What?
I was like, whoa. What time is it? Because, you know, you got to find somebody to kiss on New Year's Eve when the ball drops and when it's midnight. So we're like, we raced, and it's so funny because we weren't even in the same room. Apparently there were like young people at this party, like children, and I was
Kids. They were like young
talking
kids.
to them and playing with them and stuff. This is before the bottle of SoCo. Anyway, I was hanging out with them, and then I was like, what time is it? And I went to go find out what time it was, and I guess you wanted to find out what time it was too.
It got
And we
fussy.
kind of
I
like,
don't remember this part.
I remember this part because
I
it was
don't remember
cool.
this part.
So we kind of were like, oh, we found each other like right before midnight. So we were like waiting, and everybody started countdown, and then we countdown and we kissed.
Well, we were on the back porch.
We don't have to go into details about how we kissed, but we kissed.
We're
Moving on.
No. We're on the back porch. I remember we're the only people on the back porch, and I do remember it was quite a long kiss.
It was a long kiss. I think we knocked over somebody.
I do remember falling over a lot of lawn furniture.
Yeah. What was your first impression of me? Oh, the drunken
No, actually, the first impression I told
girl
him
wears
this.
backward shirts.
No, like first impression was she's really cute, like really pretty, and her outgoing personality, like friendly, like very friendly. Like Michelle, she doesn't meet. You don't meet a stranger really. Like you are kind to everybody that you meet, and you have a great personality when it comes to meeting people, and her ability to listen and give you like constructive feedback or opinion in a conversation. I hate talking to people that like you talk to and you feel like you might as well talk to your wall or something, you know. She actually is very smart, and I got that from that first couple hours talking to her. You know, just amazing.
When did you meet the family?
Well, I mean, in between Chili's and the party, and Julia.
Oh God! Oh Lord! Okay, this is what happened, right? You don't ever do this, all right? First thing a girl is taught when she is of age, old enough to go out and drink and hang out and party and whatever, you do not leave your drink unattended.
But she did.
You do not go off with a strange man and his roommate friend, and you do not show them where you live.
And she did.
And I struck out all three. I went to the restroom. I was like, watch my drink. Don't put any roofies in it, because I'm going to know.
I knew her for, what, 30 minutes?
Dang, this sounds so bad. I was like, watch my drink. I use the bathroom. Came back. I was like, you didn't do nothing to this. And he was like, no. And I was like,
well,
you better not.
I was appalled. Like, I appalled because I had no idea. Like, what do you mean do something to it?
Usually you ask the bartender,
like
hold my drink, bartender, hold my drink, they'll hold it behind the bar. So second thing, yes, I'm going to tell him. So Sam's like, so did you drive? And I was like, no, actually, no, I didn't drive. Because I didn't tell him I took the bus. So he was like, oh, well, you can ride with me and we can, and I was like, well, I don't want to go to the party first because I got to change. Because I was backward shirt girl. So I wanted to change because I didn't want to go to any New Year's Eve party looking crazy. So I was like, all right, so you can go ahead and drive me home. I figured his roommate was in there. If anything went down, I don't know. So I get into his Jeep Cherokee. You had a Jeep? Or it was big.
It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, yeah.
Okay. So we get in there, turn on the ignition. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's the Phantom of the Opera soundtrack.
It's a mixed CD. I put something on there. It happened to be on that one.
You listen to the Phantom of the Opera.
Y'all listen right now. Stop.
Oh.
Right now. I was going through a tough time at that point in my life. And I was listening to a lot of different music and stuff. And I liked the movie. I did. It has some nostalgic background or whatever. I happen to have a CD with one of the songs of the soundtrack.
You are secure in your manhood and you like musicals. Just
I do. You know what? Being married to her, I have grown to love musicals.
No. This was the day we met. The cool thing about it was they had shown like the Phantom of the Opera like non-stop marathon on HBO like prior, the week before. And I had watched it because I like it. Did you say subliminal? Anyway, so when it blared and blasted my ears out because it was so loud, he was like fumbling for the radio, like, oh my god, I don't know what it is.
What is this?
Somebody left their CD in my car, man. I was like, dude, don't worry. I love that movie. I saw it like a billion times last week. It's awesome. He was like, you like Phantom of the Opera? And I was like, I like Phantom of the Opera. It's gonna be alright.
In the meantime, I'm just like, kill it now!
15 shades of purple.
Destroyed. Like, any chances with this chick here? Done.
And we drove to my house because I ran inside and I did like, you know how it is, girls, when a guy that you like might be feeling and he wants to take you out and he just catches you the last minute, like you do like things that people. I was like a blur. I was like Wolverine in my room, like, and it came out, bam, looking fresh. And then my aunt was like, where do you think you're going? And I lived with my aunt at the time. My aunt was my legal guardian. My mother passed away. I told you guys about that. And my aunt took me and my aunt and my uncle. So anyway, I was leaving and she's like, where are you going? What's happening? And I'm like, I'm going to go to a party with this guy I met. She was watching me walk into the van, and you know, she loves me. I love my Aunt Judy. She was being protective of me, and I thank her for that because he could have been a psycho, but he wasn't. But anyway, that's how he met my family. The night that he met me, the first date. The first date.
I wouldn't say I met her, but what happened was I'm sitting in the Jeep.
Oh, you felt the heat of that stare. I know you did.
I looked over, and I saw Aunt Julia. She's like, she came out of the porch. And she put her hands on her hips and she gave me one of those.
That's a little dramatic.
I know, but still, that's kind of what I felt. So, like, she kind of looked like that. I mean, I'm just like, I'll take care of your needs, I promise. And I did. I was really, like, what's the word? Chivalrous? Is it the word?
That's a word.